Are you an animal shelter looking to up your video game a little bit? There are many reasons to make video production a part of your shelter's education and outreach strategy. Having video content boosts your rankings in web search results and creates a stronger connection with your community. It requires more work than simple still photography or Facebook status updates, but the results are well worth it. Last year, before our Christmas auction, we slapped together a couple of last-minute videos and put multimedia division at the end of it as sort of a joke. There was no such thing as the multimedia division, but it started a conversation. A few months later, our management decided that this avenue was worth pursuing seriously. A couple of pilot videos were produced as proofs of concept, and in April I was reassigned to these new duties on a part-time basis. My officer shifts were filled, so there was no lack of coverage. Equipment was purchased out of our education and outreach budget, and here we are today. But not every shelter has the resources to just reassign a staff member to an experiment. No problem. It's never been easier to create polished-looking video content on a small budget. So who's going to do this? Well, it can really be anyone these days. You don't need a ton of knowledge. Full disclosure, I dropped out of film school years ago to pursue law enforcement. And that's what led me to animal control. But while that education did provide some background and technical knowledge and experience, a lot, if not all of what you need to know to make good quality video is available online today. YouTube itself is an incredible resource for technical and artistic advice. So who can do this? Well, really anyone with the time. It could be a manager, a shelter worker, a volunteer. A lot of our organizations have a large volunteer base, and a lot of those volunteers are younger. The younger generation does have a lot to offer if you tap into the right skill set. So let's talk about equipment. I'm going to speak directly from our own experience. Your experiences may be different, but this is how we've operated so far. The workhorse camera of our department is a simple point and shoot. It's a Nikon Coolpix S33. It goes for about $120 on Amazon and shoots in full 1080p high-definition video. Grab a tripod for this camera to sit on top of and you've got your visuals covered. But remember, you've probably already got several HD cameras. We have used smartphones as well. Sometimes we've used it as a second camera in an interview, and sometimes it's just a good backup camera. Just remember to hold the phone in landscape orientation before pressing record, not portrait. We also purchased a first-generation GoPro camera for about the same price. You can have the best visuals going, but if your audio is garbage, people are going to notice. Built-in camera audio isn't always the best, and it tends to get worse the farther away you get from the camera. One solution is an external microphone plugged into the camera, but in order for this to work, your camera has to have an external microphone jack. Our little S33 doesn't have that, so we record our audio separately on a Zoom H1 audio recorder. We record our audio separately and sync it up in post. The Zoom H1 retails for around $120 on Amazon and produces some really good quality sound recording. We just use the recorder for now, but you can get a half-decent lapel or lavalier mic on Amazon for $40 to $50. If you're not looking to spend money on a decent recorder right away, remember you probably already have a recorder. Your smartphone likely has a recorder app built into it. The on-scene interview portion of our Canal Days enforcement report video was actually shot with the S33, but the audio was recorded with a Samsung Galaxy S4. And as usual, the audio and video were synced up in post. We use a couple of adjustable intensity LED lamps for night call, but most of the time it's just natural light or whatever light happens to exist. There are a number of free editing software applications available, like Windows Movie Maker or iMovie if you have a Mac, but if you want a lot more control, there are some more affordable options available. As a charity, you're probably familiar with the company TechSoup. If you haven't heard of them, learn about them right now. They provide charitable organizations with software licenses at a greatly reduced price. We got Adobe Premiere Elements 14 and Adobe Photoshop Elements 14 bundled together for $40. The educational version would normally cost $90 retail. And because it's made by Adobe, it's very popular, so there's lots of online tutorials on how to do all kinds of things with it. It's also not a bad idea to have a decent backup hard drive to store your project files on once you've completed the video. Video project files can take up a lot of space on your computer's hard drive, and you don't want to lose them. Music is great, but try to avoid using copyrighted music. Especially as an organization, you want to avoid copyright strikes. These can undo a lot of your hard work. YouTube has an extensive audio library of free music you can download. All of our videos to date have used this library. While we're on copyright, try to use images from copyright-free websites. I can post a few links in the description below. As animal shelters, we have a perspective that few others have. The storytelling possibilities are numerous. We try to avoid investigations and enforcement-related calls because of privacy issues or the risk of compromising an ongoing investigation. If you're strictly an investigations outfit, this may prove a little bit challenging, but you can always be creative with your public service announcements. It's not all about wildlife getting stuck in things. And most importantly, be creative. Take a chance on an interesting technique. Our recent video, Jimbo's Journey, involved dramatization for the first part because we didn't have anyone on scene filming when Jimbo was actually picked up. It was dark and subdued and got the message across in a visually interesting way. The Darius video was structured as a movie trailer. Interviews are also a great storytelling aid that can lend credibility and variety to your production. Why just have titles talk about something medical when you can interview a veterinarian and have them explain it? So those are the basics. The fine details are a lot to go into, but the most important thing is to start. Get some basic gear together, come up with an idea, and tell your story in a creative way. As you go along, you'll get better and maybe inspire other shelters to do the same. Thanks for watching Night Call. If you like what you see, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.